1-to-1 testing? Yeah, the reason why. I was so passionate about starting a charity because I knew these are the future leaders. These are the people that will come and lead a country where I'm old. And I want a peaceful and a clean environment. I want to find people who are empowered, children who are going to school, people who are not struggling because they don't have the basic education.
Hi. So it's continuous, eh? Analyzing the capabilities of students as a trainer here, I think all of them are qualified. What I'm happy about this as a mechanical engineer, it's better to get the knowledge first, then you get the skills first. You understand the science behind something.
It was basically a dream, and now the level at which we are, we have quite achieved a lot. Because now we have the classes running.
This is a very important room for us. As you can see, there is not much, but if you look, you find the value of what is here, then you will understand.
I started a small motor vehicle training because I love cars, and the reason why actually I settled in Mombasa was because we were starting a workshop with my husband, and because people don't want to come and find students fixing their cars, so I decided I train them. Then I can take them to the workshop. But there was quality missing. There was something missing. And then we got an opportunity to have ULS and Udo come in, Udo Lindenberg Foundation. And it was very strange for me because I never dreamt that any of my kids would get that kind of opportunity. So that for me, it was in line with our motto as a foundation, inspiring people to dream. What you have inside you is already prepared, but we need somebody to come hold our hands and tell you, okay, you need this direction to go. So it needs to be structured. And today I'm so proud to know that we are part of something good, something big.
We have the piston itself here.
And now we were doing a curriculum in a center that is neater, that is it's local, but it's good. But we get something more international, more pure, more understanding. And we are able to see now the areas where we can fill in the gaps of what we do not have. And this instills quality in our system.
Of course, it's a good program. It's because it's quite wide. Full of modern technology. I mean, it's a real technology today, so it fits so well, and we're really happy to have it with us.
For example, it is a 4-stroke engine used aluminum material. Most of the students here are motivated extrinsically because from us, but in terms of intrinsic, from their families, from themselves, the motivation is very low. But we are working out on that, and that is the problem and the challenges that we have here in our society, especially African society. But in terms of qualifications, these kids are qualified to do this PAVE program. Okay, I don't know if you realize that we have electrical. And it is an external cooling system. These are cooling things, and this one is used in external. That's melting point of 600 degrees Celsius. Basically, this one are made to increase the surface area of the cooling box. This is a warm stock, and you cannot use this material in a very strong. PAVE program is one of the best programs that we have right now in Kenya. I've gone through various curriculums here in Kenya. But looking at PAVE, first, it is theoretically correct, or in terms of knowledge, it is well equipped, it is very deep. And then again, in terms of practicals, it is also well versed. Speak up. But what I'm happy about this PAVE, as a mechanical engineer, you understand the science behind something. You understand the science behind the material science. Then we have the connecting rod, you can see it is visible. Then we have the clamp. Then after you converted the thermal energy, that pressure that comes with high temperature results in what we call the mechanical. So when the piston moves down at this stage, which is used to run a vehicle. That is correct. So when you understand all those variables as a trainer in this field, it is very easy for you to understand. So when you impart those knowledge to students, when they are maybe correcting or rather fixing the vehicles, they fix the vehicle with the mind, with the scientific mind, and at the same time they have learned the practical skills. Now it is easier for them now to use the scientific knowledge and the practical experience in the field. And that is the beauty of this PAVE program. I hope that also this country of Kenya should one day or one time should adopt the PAVE program in the automobile engineering sector.
So PAVE program has helped us be able to see the areas that need to be put in that were missing, and on top of that we have the material, we have the textbooks, we have the right curriculum to change, and of course with our teacher who is able to understand it and read through it, is able to implement it easily. And so we marry those and we get a very good product of a mechanic in a very short while. We become noticed, we become known by the community that there's a place that embraces people who have lost their dream, their touch. So we help them rekindle what was lost. And so it has impacted the young people to see that they can actually change their lives. And that's why in our school, the mechanical class has the biggest number of students. There's a lot going on in our center. We start from the babies, the very babies, and we have a daycare where you come in. Apparently, as looking at the steps, you can come in when you're 3 years old and you can leave when you're 30 years old. Well, St. Joseph House of Hope started about 25 years ago, and it all started with a few children who were not in school. My idea was not to work with only children. It all started with me wanting to empower women, because it's a society where women get a lot of children but from different fathers. And the reason why they have many fathers is because they're looking for that father who will commit. And so they end up having like 7 children with different men.
Do you want me to do a demonstration or what? Basically, this is our oven, and so this is our working table. And so this is what we're doing now, but for the moment, today we're not baking. As you see, that is Maria, and that's Zawadi, that is Zawadi, and that is Solomon. This is Yvonne. Yes, Yvonne, that is Yvonne. They're here to learn skills of how to bake. At the same time, they have challenges. They have babies and we need to help them. So basically, we are doing theory, how to work together, how to help one another, how to be reliable, and that's what we're doing now. After getting the skill, they should be able to know how to make croissants. Anything else? Biscuits, anything else? Banana bread? Tarts, yes, pineapple tarts. So actually they're learning how to bake, and then now they can work for themselves, or they can open a small place that they can bake, or they can go and work in hotels.
tell they are learning by what they are doing. And I think a wonderful job.
Maybe I should be having a glass of juice back there.
So that was my driving force, because where I came from, every child went to school. And so I'm in an environment where I want to actually live there and grow old in. And I'm surrounded by people who are not educated. And so we started skills training on tailoring. And that's also another vision I had, not only for people to have paper education, but to also have to be able to work with their hands. Because I'm surrounded by where EPZ, an export zone where people export clothes, people bring material to Kenya and they're made for export. And so a lot of people work for long hours, and that was because they didn't have the skill. And so anybody would exploit them. So one thing that I knew that was important was to have people educated, skilled, so that they don't lose their dignity. And that's the only way is for them to be able to earn money enough to afford medical care, to afford food, so they would be able to know they can take, it's their right to take their children to school, it's their right for security, it's their right for clean water, it's their right to be able to access education close by.
It's the first water system that was installed by Udo Foundation in conjunction with the Water is Right Foundation. Yeah, it's quite easy to maintain because it's as simple as checking on filters, cleaning the filters sometimes and replacing the filters, while at the same time the bulbs, they rarely get spoiled, the UV lamps. So once you have the UV lamp damaged or spoiled, that's the only time that you replace it. Switch on the UV max and all is good to go. You always cover this. And we are done.
We have nursery section, the kindergarten, we have the primary section, we have the upper elementary school, and that's the middle school. We have the junior high, we have the senior high, and now we have the polytechnic and the skills training.
As you can see, these are our students. Most of them are doing different things. They're still in the learning process. So this is what they do after class. After class, after the theory, they come to the cars where they're taught practically what they learn in class. So like these guys here are working on an engine, the Mercedes-Benz. So they're putting it back. It was completely ripped off, so they are trying to put it back together. I think they're working on the engine today.
When you come out from high school, you have an opportunity. You don't get to go to the university, then you can do skills training. We have hairdressing and beauty. We have a computer literacy. We have food and beverage service and production. So we have a little bit of every person. We try and cover as much gender equality, that a boy has a space and a girl has a space.
This is a very important room for us. As you can see, there is not much, but if you look, you find the value of what is here, then you will understand why it has a steel and a wooden door. Because, for example, here, this is where we store some things, and even it's locked. I don't have the key, because only one person has the key. Then we have this one in front of me here. If I can move, and maybe you can see. I think this one I can open. This one, as you can see. So these are spanners, different sizes, you can see. You will not find this one outside for now because, as you can see, this is serious equipment, and the students may not need to use these ones for now. That's why they're kept here. Only when the students need it, they can use them. Again, this one for now is beyond the students, but they will learn what it is used for, how it is used, but they will not use it for now. It will be a waste of equipment. Because these, for example, these are highly specialized equipment.
I'm sure you must have heard there's a woman called Carol somewhere in the bush trying to see how she can make a difference in the community. And our first day was like I said, was unbelievable. For me, I didn't think there's somebody who would reach out in such a massive way. And it was a moment where I saw that I was not weak. It's a moment where I saw that our students are actually not weak. Because if there's somebody who feels that they have potential, that they can actually be in the same level like any person in the world. And that was a good statement for the community. It was also, I'm sure, a good statement to you, for you to come back and still feel, there's something good there. We can see that there's something that needs to be continued there. There's a community that is hungry for knowledge, and we can continue. And we need partners like you to be able to do this.
It's like a hall where we do things that require that most of the students come together. It could be an assembly, a closing ceremony, or this thing. So it's easier for them to sit under a shade and not in the sun like before. Also, it's a dining hall as well.
With the workshop, as they learn, those that graduate and those that they reach the time where we know that we can trust them with the customers come. We will be able to have people who are still continuing to learn, and will be able to earn money for the project and start fixing cars. And this knowledge is broad. It's a broad spectrum. So this knowledge that they acquire here, you may decide you want to specialize in something else. Yeah, but this is general. And the reason why we set up a place like this is so that people get trained. At the end of the day, what I want to see, the future. Let's say in 10 years' time, we are going to bring changes in the places where they get employed. I know not everyone can start a business, but if they have to get employed, if they have to go to Saudi Arabia, if they have to go to Germany or any other country, they go as skilled labor, so they are not exploited. This will give people caution, and they will know that they don't need to go develop another country. They can start with their own and create jobs for their own people. Oh, my vision. Number one is to see clean water. I want to see a community that is computer literate. They understand computers. The young people can work online, that they don't have to have physical shops. They can do marketing, digital marketing online and advertisements, and they can get jobs online. It's just that we need people who are not corrupt. A system of government, systems even in companies, that a girl doesn't have to go in bed with a boss for them to get a job, and that is the norm. And those are the things that girls need to be taught. You know what? I won't sleep with you. And they don't know their rights. They need to be taught their rights, and that is what we do here. Life skills, we tell them what is needed of them. Don't tire. Please, we need all that help, because we have the largest number of youth in our community that is still uneducated, that is still hungry, that needs to be held their hand and told it's okay, your dream is valid. And we help them to come up to be productive citizens and people who will be the future leader of integrity. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. And you were very good.
And we have a small garden behind there, which sometimes gets very dark. But from where I'm sitting here, I can monitor all these places, like 7 places I can go, just by sitting down there. And if something happens, we can also go back and see on what is recorded okay, who may have done what. We may never catch them, sometimes as I say, but we'll know who it was, definitely.
This place, we all know it, but it changed so much.
Yes, it's unbelievable, it has changed. Because I remember initially in 2014, this was our class and the workshop, everything happened in this small space. But it's now a 5-star cafe, as you can see.